Okay, welcome to the Chapter 12, Product and Price Decisions as it relates to the entertainment industry presentation lecture. Please make sure that you have with you your note guide so that you can take notes as we go through this chapter's content. And feel free to review any slides in order to get all those notes so that you can use it as a study tool for upcoming assessments. Okay, when it comes to the entertainment industry, there's a big emphasis on branding. Popular brand names are vital to the success of a company. That's in all marketing for all different products, but it is used to the next level in the industry of entertainment. We'll get into the reasons why and how it is used. But the use of brands has been around for thousands of years. Entertainment has just taken it and made it their staple, their stronghold, their crutch, their foundation of how they market their product. Okay, so when it comes to brand, in order to reach a consumer must have brand identity. And this is a major part of the entertainment marketing. Brand identity is a consistent image or feeling that consumers recognize when encountering the brand. So it is an attempt as a marketer to trigger those psychographics or those psychosensory feelings towards a particular product through the name of a brand. And if that can be accomplished through marketing, then the product can be different products. It can make product lines, product extensions successful because no longer is the consumer associating with the product, the consumer is associating with the brand. So it's an interesting marketing tactic, and it can be difficult to achieve, very costly when trying to market a brand versus marketing a product, more costly upfront, I should say, and possibly there could be a payoff more in the end if the branding has been done correctly. Entertainment companies must develop what's known as a brand mark. This is the brand name and symbol. We see it with the Nike and the swoosh. There is an example of a brand mark that includes the name and the symbol. And there are many other examples out there. Okay, symbols that you see every day to help identify goods and services you buy. What exactly are these? Well, these are examples of trademarks. And when it comes to the entertainment industry is going to utilize what's known as sound marks and motion marks. So not only going to associate with the consumer in terms of sight, that sense, but also in the terms of hearing. So a sound mark is a trademark identified by a sound associated with a brand or company. So we can find many different examples. MGM has a sound mark. It's a tune, or it's a jingle, or it is something that is played when the brand is introduced in some type of promotional activity to the consumer. Accompany that with a motion mark. This is a trademark identified by specific movement associated with that brand or company, and usually is directly related to that brand symbol. So we can take a look in class at some examples of sound marks and motion marks to kind of put this more in perspective. Now, when it comes to the value of trademarks in terms of branding on the internet and in e-commerce, which is purchasing of goods and services online using the internet as your medium, is just as important as in conventional marketing, and maybe more so as time goes on because more and more people are growing comfortable in purchasing things online. Now, having a domain name is necessary for a company's website. You can utilize this website to try and get into the heads of the consumer, as well as being able to establish that brand and trigger those psychosensory responses. Now, when it comes to trademarks, another avenue that is used is celebrities. Celebrities are not just performers, they are also brands. This is why you hear, especially in the sports world, of who's a superstar. A superstar is somebody who has gotten past that aspect of just being a player or an athlete and now being a brand, him or herself. Clothing lines by celebrities are examples of the brand strategy called brand extension. We've talked about this before. The development and introduction of new products that expand the brand and take advantage of the recognition and image of an established brand name. We got a chance to watch a video and talk about different failures in brand extensions, but there are also indicators, or there are also instances in which case brand extension was very successful, and it is utilized and practiced more so in the entertainment industry than most other industries. franchise. Franchise is another concept that the entertainment industry thrives on. The concept of an entertainment franchise is different from the franchise in the sports world. Here's what an entertainment franchise is. It's a series of films, programs, or character portrayals planned to expand the character's activities in a series. So a Fast and the Furious movie franchise. All of the different movies, all of the different characters who have acted in those movies, any other type of product extensions that have come off those movies in terms of video games, clothing, action figures, toys, things of that nature would all be considered a part of that franchise. Now, franchising is similar to making sequels, but it is planned from the beginning of the series. So, more often than not, whenever we have a movie franchise that decides to have sequels or become a trilogy, or in like the case of Star Wars, most of those things have been planned from the beginning. Not always, but most. The original 3 Star Wars were planned at the beginning. The 3 Matrix movies, planned in the beginning. Those types of things. It just takes them a little bit longer to accumulate resources in order to make the movies and then present them. Crossover artists. Crossover is related to performer's image and brand. Crossover, an expansion of the popular appeal of an artist or work by achieving success in another market or style. We indicated in the entertainment industry, one individual, Taylor Swift, was able to execute a crossover very, very efficiently and is now a common and popular name in the pop music industry rather than the country music industry. Celebrities expand their markets as much as possible to increase mainstream exposure and stay in the public eye. If you are a celebrity, you live in the public eye. Once you fall out of the public eye, you're no longer a celebrity. So remaining in that public eye is what keeps celebrities as being labeled as celebrities. Archived brands. Man, having problems reading today. Archive brands is the use of archive brands is another brand strategy. Now, how is this actually done? Well, we take famous performers. Let's take performers that have possibly passed. Marilyn Monroe, Elvis Presley. They have become classic brand marketing icons and are still used today. Even though these individuals passed years and years ago, most consumers are still going to be able to identify with them, thus possibly influencing buying behavior. The vaults archives of a studio contain entertainment properties that are part of its brand and product line. So same thing as in any other marketing scenario where brand and product line are continually evolving, continually being tested, continually being reinvented in order to maintain that stature within the product life cycle that we are seeking, which is growth or maybe maturity. All right, product placement, which is what we just talked about. Talked about it actually the first part of this chapter. Product placement is the appearance of a product as a prop in a film or TV show in exchange for fee paid by the product's advertiser. Revenue can include money coming from this, which is going to impact our price. Profit is viewed in 2 ways: gross profit, net profit. Gross profit is revenue minus the cost of goods sold, whereas net profit is gross profit minus expenses. All those costs are going to be factored into our profit because we do have to pay the bills. All right, so when it comes to different types of revenue, profit, and loss, there are 3 types of pricing goals in the entertainment industry. They are ROI, return on investment, competition, meeting our competition in terms of pricing, as well as net profit pricing, which means pricing based off of a profit goal. Profit margin, which factors in the net profit pricing, is the difference between the expenses and the retail price expressed as a percentage or a dollar amount. Profit margin can also be indicated as markup. How much markup do we have to have in order to reach our profit goals? Now, different pricing strategies and goals. Marketers must determine the goals in order to have their effective pricing strategies. So what do we want to accomplish based off of our price? What is our main focus? Setting prices can be based on recovering costs, getting a specific return on investment, hitting profit goals, or meeting or beating the competition. Any one or any combination of all of those different strategies can impact how a price is determined. Once the goal is decided, the planning process focuses on reaching those objectives. And the question is how is that done in terms of pricing strategy? Okay, well, let's take a look. If we take this into the next element or one element of entertainment known as television and radio, For media ad purchases, reach and frequency are key elements to consider when planning. So when it comes to time to promote your product and you want to utilize television or radio, you want to keep in mind this reach and frequency, which is the number of people exposed to an advertisement and the number of times they are exposed to it. So this is going to determine when your advertisement is run in a TV or radio program and in which program, TV or radio, that ad is run. That is going to help establish that reach and frequency. Now, record labels may pay radio stations up to $1 million to promote airplay before the song is even a hit. So there's a considerable amount of expense that is there before profit starts to accumulate. Now let's take this and organize this a little bit. Let's take the price of the ad, the medium, and then the result. If we look at about a $2.5 million ad, chances are we're probably going to be able to get for that a 30-second national TV ad. The result of that is going to be a higher expense, but also could be a higher profit because of a higher reach and frequency, as opposed to a $50 ad, which might get us 30 seconds on a local TV station at 2 a.m., which is going to be a lower expense, and possibly no profit because the reach and frequency is not what it needs to be. So in reality, we take this and we determine that the greater the reach and frequency will contribute to the success of the ad, the success of the product, and the success of the brand. All right, the general rule is that if a series can stay on the air for 3 years, this is in television, or complete production of 60 episodes, it would be considered a financial success. So the goal is to get to that 60 to 100 episodes. I've heard 100. This is indicating 60, so I think if we go between 60 and 100, we're probably going to be pretty safe. Real profits are generated in the reruns because most production costs have already been paid. So whenever TV programs are run in syndication, that's where the real profits start to accumulate. Only about 1 in 5 shows last long enough to produce 60 shows. So there's only a 20% chance you're going to get to that point where you can be extremely profitable. Very, very high risk industry. Now in the film industry, sources of revenue in the film industry include profits from tickets, rentals, video and DVD sales, foreign distribution, sometimes even toys, CD soundtracks, books, video games, merchandise, tie-ins, as well as other spin-offs. So a lot of different possibilities there to be able to earn revenue in the film industry. Lots of different avenues, all with their amount of risk and all with their amount of cost. After paying the distribution fees, ads and publicity and theater costs, an average of 31 cents remains to cover production and negative costs. So when it comes to all of this, these are the different entities, these are the different factors, characteristics, whatever you want to call them, that marketers have to be concerned with when it comes to coming up with a price. All of these different costs, and they all are going to play a factor in whether or not you're profitable. And if you want to be profitable, you better get the right price. Now for the exhibitor, 10 to 20% of the ticket dollar goes to the house. So you pay for the opportunity to go to an event, 10 to 20% goes to the exhibitor, or that goes to the house. Therefore, there's only 80 or 90% left over to be passed around and to be collected by other entities involved with that particular program or that particular film. Now, pricing in the music and recording industries, on average, the cost of production of a popular album is a minimum of $125,000, pretty steep price tag. Costs include marketing, promotion, album cover design, graphics, pressing of the CDs, and shipping costs, junkets, as well as promotional items. A lot of different things that are tied up in the cost of music. Large production and marketing costs must be covered, and there must be enough money left over for royalty payments. Going back to the artist, the retailer makes about 27 to 37% profit. So not a significant margin, but still a margin. Concerts. Pricing concerts and other public performances rely on estimating public demand, what the consumer is willing to pay, trying to match what others are charging. Size of the venue, cost of production, transportation, employees, all included in the ticket price. Contract agreements with arenas, theaters can also include guaranteed performance fees and percentages of concessions. All of this factored into what it costs for us to go to a concert. And then finally, brands and pricing, customer perceptions of entertainment, brand identity, and the effect of purchasing decisions and price of entertainment products. This concludes the presentation lecture for Chapter 12